This is Gene Adam, former lead singer of Iced Earth. Be sure to subscribe to Podcast and Stone, and don't forget, join our community on social media. Metal lives.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Iced Earth community, welcome to Podcast in Stone, the only podcast 100% dedicated, sorry, I had a glitch, 100% dedicated to Iced motherfucking Earth. I'm joined, as always, with the incomparable Chuck Hoskins. Today, it's the long-awaited, we are going to rank our favourite album cover art out of the studio albums. So that is from debut album all the way to Incorruptible. Yes, we are going to include variants because we might prefer a variant or we might not. But anyway, we're going to do it least favourite to favourite, 12 to 1. Chuck, it's cover ranking time. How you doing, sir?
Time to get under the covers. You know what? This is an exciting episode for me because you can't talk about Iced Earth's albums without talking about the glorious artwork that is with it. It's almost like an art piece, a painting.
You know, like I remember with I think it's like every album since Dystopia. When John goes, oh yeah, new album coming, blah blah blah, and it's just like oh yeah, you know, artwork reveal. I'm as excited to see the artwork of the album as I am to hear the album.
To hear the first song. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I couldn't agree more. It's such a big part of metal in general. And I'm not just talking about Iced Earth, but I mean, when you look at metal, you know, the artwork is such a key part of the presentation, and it's part of it. You can't. Yeah. There's some albums that are famously linked to their artwork, both good and bad. It's just a part of the package. And before we get too deep into that, we want to give a big thank you to Gene and the Jacob's Well Camp for thanking us, and the thank yous. Jason also for designing the logo. Bitter Days is now available on CD and downloading. So his son did this artwork. It's such a cool indie package. I dig it. The production of this is great. He sounds great. If you haven't ordered this yet, go support Gene, the OG, the voice of Purgatory and Iced Earth. Just put out an acoustic CD. Your collection is incomplete without it. Order it today.
Yeah, as Chuck said, yeah, Jacob's Well, pick it up. You can go to PayPal, type in bitterdaycd@gmail.com, send them $15 and put your address, your shipping address in the notes, and then send.
Overseas might be more, so check before you do that. Make sure it's what your postage is. Postage is a bitch these days.
Yeah. It seems to be only in the United States though, because for me to ship a CD to the United States is not expensive. It's rather cheap.
Fair enough. Now, but before we go into the ranking, artwork was a big part of me getting introduced to Iced Earth, and I still have this piece of art here. Let me take off my picture. Cool day. I used to get a magazine called Metal Edge, and I used to always see these one-page kind of, you know, check out these bands or whatever. And this is back before you could just get on your phone and sample it and listen to it. Mm-hmm. So the presentation of this is what made me say, hey, I'm going to check out this band because they're coming to my town in a month. And the shitty part is I forgot my CDs that I had the night of the show, and all I had was this Metal Edge sitting in my car. So I had John, Matt, and Jimmy sign it. So that's still This is kind of one of the reasons why this podcast exists. Is this piece of art? The autographs are kind of faded, but back in the day, this was a huge part. I've heard many stories about people going into record stores and flipping through vinyls and flipping through CDs and like, man, this is a cool cover. I've never heard of these guys. I got to check these out.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
That's
that used to happen. Like I said, we're kind of spoiled now that, we know exactly when a song's released. We could hear it on our phone. Oh, here's a link to this band I heard at the bar last night. So back then, art was such a big part of bringing you in. So that's what
And
got me into.
I don't know. Sorry, mate. I don't know whether
Go ahead.
it's just me or you, but sometimes, and cover art. I'm the kind of person where if there's an album that I love, but it's got a shit cover art, I won't get the vinyl because I don't want a shit cover art blown up. I don't. So I tend to buy albums I love based on just their artwork. So
What is the best album with the shittiest art, and what's the shittiest album with the best art?
Oh God. That's
I mean, nothing comes to mind.
that's
a good question.
That's a whole video in itself, Chuck. Like, and that's not really related to the
Yeah,
podcast that we
but-
do.
Yeah, I was just interested. So do you want to do our ranking of the 12 and then go into some honorable mentions and stuff?
Well, I just want to, as you kind of gave a little discussion about, you just talked about cover arts. I just want to give people a taste of just a bit of history, basically. Like you said, cover arts is really important for me, because it can't be included into this rank because this rank's just the studio albums. But I just want to give people a bit of a side note for me. The most nostalgic cover art in my collection in Iced Earth for me is Dark Genesis. This was the first piece of artwork I ever saw from Iced Earth. Now, it's not the first thing I owned because my friend bought me the debut album on CD, but before he bought me that, he had this, and this is how I discovered the band. When he showed me the first album, he had this box set. This is the first image that I saw, and it just brings back so many memories. It's so nostalgic. If I were to get an Iced Earth tattoo, this is what I would get first on my arm, because it just signifies the beginning of my love for this band. So yeah, this artwork has a big importance to me. I can't include it in the rankings because it's just studio albums, but yeah, I love this artwork. It's fucking awesome, and in my mind, it's still the best look. It's the best image of set that's ever been drawn, in my opinion. I love the way the set looks on that. Anyway, just thought that'd be a bit interesting to people. So yeah,
That's cool. So
super nostalgic.
that's kind of some of our beginnings of Iced Earth art. So you want to hit the top 12 first?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get it.
Okay. I think my number 12 is going to be very controversial.
Do you want to start or should I start?
Yeah, I'll start.
Okay, cool.
This is my number 12, and it by no means do I dislike it. I actually had the vinyl hanging up in my house for a long time. It's just there's got to be a last.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And there's some people that are like, what? But I mean, it's just not one of my favorites. Like I said, I don't dislike it in any means. I like it. It's a cool picture. But there's got to be. I like all 12. I like all 12.
That's quite. It kind of, if people have followed us for a long time, they can understand that. Kind of makes sense. It makes sense to me because I remember when we did that Glorious Burden retrospect, you were like, Iced Earth, really? When you saw that artwork, I remember us talking about it. So
Right.
yeah, my number 12 is not Glorious Burden. My number 12 is Framing Armageddon. So I just think it's a bit it's a really good piece of art. I just think compared to everything else, it's a bit boring. It's like they've taken something Wicked This Way Comes and just switched the angle, and yeah. It's don't get me wrong. It's a great piece of art. I think it looks cool. I just don't think it looks as cool as the rest of the albums. That's just me. Yeah, Framing Armageddon, number 12.
Our lists are going to be way different.
Yeah, they are.
My number 11, I like the CD a lot more than I like the art. It's Dystopia.
Okay.
I don't dislike it. It's a cool picture. It's just there's ones I like a lot more. It's a cool picture. I like the back picture a lot actually too.
That was on that was on the 5-song EP as well, wasn't it?
Yes. So I like it a lot. It's a beautiful piece. Just there's 10 more I like better.
People are going to flip out on my number 11 because I love having controversial decisions, but my number 11 is Horror Show. It looks cool, but I'm just it's never popped. It's never grabbed me straight away. It's never like, man, it's cool, but it's never been like, man, that's amazing. It's never like been, the best thing. When it comes to artwork from this album, I actually really like the Damien artwork. Out of all of it, I think the Damien artwork's really cool. But the actual cover art, it's all right. It's a good piece of a good drawing and whatnot. But yeah, there's a guy in that group that's got a back tattoo. I think his back tattoo looks better than this album cover art, and the tattoo is of this cover art. Just saying.
There is a Damien shirt circulating that's rather expensive that looks awesome. So, okay. My number 10 is a very cool picture. The Return of Barlow, The Crucible of Man. I dig it. I dig the whole scepter into the earth deal. Like I said, I don't dislike it in any way. There's just 9 more I like better. So, number 10 for me, Crucible of Man.
I can't help but feel like we just could be people going unsubscribe because of my decisions here. My number 10 is Burnt Offerings. I mean, it's cool, but it's I just think some other album covers are better.
There's no wrong answer.
Fair enough. Your number 9, sir.
Number 9, Jason, you're not going to like this one. Something Wicked. I love the album so much, and I love the artwork. I just there's got to be a list. My number 9.
My number 9. It's funny because I actually really like this artwork. I like the artwork more than the album, but my number 9 is Plagues of Babylon. It's really good. It's getting to the point of like it's really hard to justify why these are on what part of the list because it's just what my eye and my brain told me. I like that one more than that. It's as simple as this. And this one is really good. When this was revealed, I was like, that's awesome. And it's a perfect cover for this album as well in terms of matching the visual with the sound of the album. Works really well. The fact that the album's about zombies, it really works as well. There's a variant I like more, which we all know about, which we'll get to at the end of the video. We talk about different variants. But my number 9 is Plagues of Babylon.
Fair enough.
Boo shakalaka.
My number 9 is self-titled. This is my favorite version of the self-titled albums.
Isn't that your number 8? Aren't we on 8?
12, 11, 8. We're on 8. I'm sorry. So this is 8. I like the other one. I like this one a lot. And I got the blue one hanging up on my wall. This is it's the one I saw first, and it's simplistic, and it's so metal. I don't know why I dig this cover so much, but this is definitely my favorite self-titled. I wish that they would have put this on vinyl, but we kind of have it on vinyl with Enter the Realm of Purgatory. So I just love this picture. Simplistic, metal, great, classic album.
My number 8 is Incorruptible. I just think it looks really cool where he's in flames and he's on this like crucifix thing, and it's simple as well. You know, set on a crucifix, looking like, you can't do shit to me. I'm Set Abominate. I like it. I like where it's orange as well. Don't really get that very often with metal albums. I love the kind of orange look.
Great coloring in that one.
Yeah, really good. Your number 7, sir.
My number 7 is one you just recently did, Plagues of Babylon. My favorite Stu Block album. I love the kind of the oily texture, and just the artwork is phenomenal. I'm a big zombie fan, and Set just looks wicked, and just the chains and the zombies and the whole thing. I just remember the first time I seen this, I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. So 2014, I love the album, love the art just as much.
Yeah, with some of the albums now, most of the Iced Earth albums now, I'm just like, when it's getting closer to a new one, I'm just like, how cool is Set going to look on this next one? Like, that's what I always think, because he's going to be on it, didn't you? So it's like, I wonder how cool Set's going to look on this next album. Anyway,
do you think John will change the artwork for Athens 20th anniversary?
I don't know. What number are we on? I've lost count.
I just did 7, so you're on 7.
Oh, okay. Cool. My number 7 is Night of the Storm Rider. The original Night of the Storm Rider.
Classic.
This is sealed. It's legit sealed as well. So is my cassette. So that's Mantle, right? I got both of them sealed on both formats. It's a bit crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, it's my favourite version of Storm Rider is the original. I like the Japanese variant as well, with the red logo and whatnot. But I just think the original just sums it up really. Great piece of artwork.
I've never been one too much where the color of the logo makes that big of a difference, but some of them just look cooler. My number 6, and I got the CDs out today because it was just easier to handle, is Burnt Offerings. If I were doing vinyls, this would probably be in the top 2 or 3, just because when that red vinyl comes out of the package, it just looks so good spinning. But just overall cover-wise, number 6. The other one's not even... I like the other one, you don't, but it's just nowhere close to the awesomeness of this one. So, number 6, Burnt Offerings.
Cool. My number 6 is my favourite album of all time, but the artwork is number 6. It's Suffolk Wicked Display Commas. It's classic, right? It's classic.
It sure is.
Classic artwork, classic metal. The origin, the first time, Iced Earth fans got to see Set, introduction to Set, and just classic. Running with the Dogs. Awesome
Fair
artwork.
enough. My number 5 into the top 5 now is Incorruptible. I love the colors. The art book is phenomenal. It's just the back picture too. Good Lord, that's one of the coolest back arts ever. Newman Stump totally killed it, destroyed it. Set is evil. It's just a beautiful, evil metal picture. That's my number 5. Great album as well.
My number 5, Crucible of Man. I just love the whole kind of almost purpley kind of color scheme, and I like where he just looks cool cracking the earth open. Like it's like it sets plan visualized as an album cover, and I think it looks really cool. Shame about the album. I'm not the biggest fan of the album, as most of you know, but yeah, the cover art is just killer. It's really cool. Used to be one of my favourites, but it's dropped down a peg or two over the last few years.
A few of mine have done that as well.
But it's still really good. I really like the cover art anyway. The album not so much, but what can you do? That's my number 5.
My number 4 is my favorite album of all time. This version is my favorite. I love the picture, the colors. It's just terrific. Just the axe and everything, it just screams out metal, and the album being tremendous just makes it that much cooler. So number 4, Storm Rider, and we're going to talk about the variants soon.
My number 4 is Dystopia. I love the cover art for this. I think it just sums up the album so well in terms of it's like, he's set as a tyrannical overlord, and everyone's in a horrendously dystopian lifestyle where they're slaves, and they're I like where you got the guy trying to climb over the fence, but he's getting empowered by like I can't even fucking see. Is he trying? No, I'm getting that wrong. But you know what I mean? They're all like barbed wire on the fence and stuff, and you've got the Zeppelin with the light. It's just so dystopian and so bleak, and I just think it looks cool. Also, my
I seen the ticket stub.
Yeah, it's my first ever show, 2011, November 4th, 2011. Yeah.
Mine was, dang it, I can't see it. It's funny, I got my Iced Earth, dang it, hold on. March 7th, 2012 was when mine was.
Cool.
Dystopia. Okay. Top 3. Number 3 for me is Framing. I just...
Chuck. Sound again. Right now, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. What the fuck is doing that?
It's gotta be my headset, so I'll have to replace it. Sorry.
It's alright. Start that again, number 3.
Okay. My number 3 is Framing. I've always loved the colors. I've always loved the pyramids in the back. Set looks awesome. Just the wolves or the hounds and just Egyptian feel to it. I like the art a lot more than the actual album itself. But it's just one of my favorites. Always have loved this artwork. So that's my number 3.
My number 3. My number 3 might surprise everyone. Which in terms of cover art, obviously. My number 3, because it takes me to a warm place, is the 2002 reissue of the self-titled album. I love this artwork, and this copy is my original copy that I got in 2003 when it was bought for me. And
your face on yours is a lot more colorful than mine. Like the color sticks out a lot more on yours.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like on yours, but yeah, one of my favorite artworks. Number 3, I got the T-shirt because I had to, because I just love this artwork. Sorry for those who love the 2 original North American and European artworks, but I just think, especially obviously this is a recreation of the original European artwork, which I have here. So it's a recreation of the green and red European artwork. I just think this looks more realised. Like they've actually realised what they kind of had for that concept. And I just think it just looks menacing. Like the demon just looks literally like fucking horrifying. And the angel actually looks like he's in pain. So, yeah, I love this artwork. One of my favourites. Number 3. Just fucking great. Probably the best out of the 3 redone artworks from 2002. Love it. I love
That
it
would
so
look
much.
awesome on. That would look awesome on blue vinyl as well.
Oh man, could you imagine? That's so good.
Yes, I can.
Your number 2.
Okay, number 2. I have a feeling might be some number 1s. Dark Saga. It's the first album I ever listened to. It's. I love comic books. I love metal. Come on, I love Barlow. It's just an amazing album. The artwork is killer. I tried to get into Spawn. I bought a few comics, and it's just not my thing. But this album artwork is tremendous. So number 2, The Art of Spawn and the Dark Saga.
Snap. My number 2, The Dark Saga. It's just goddamn iconic at this point, man. Like an album about Spawn. You know, why not get the creator of Spawn to do the fucking cover art? It's a no-brainer. And like, it's just so good. Like the you know, the yellow, oranges, and reds. It just pops. And the vinyl, I didn't get vinyls out for the same reasons Chuck didn't, but it looks fantastic. The cover art blown up looks amazing. Yeah, my number 2, Snap, Chuck, Snap, The Dark Saga.
Nice.
Your number 1's.
My number 1 was way down on your list, but it's always been my favorite. Is Horror Show. I don't know whether you call it nostalgia. I love set overlooking the castle where all this stuff's going on. The inside book is amazing with the different pictures, with the lyrics. I love the hand coming out of the grave. To me, it's just the perfect colors. It's just the blue and the gray, and set looks amazing. It's just always been my favorite. I have this poster on my wall. Like I said, it might be nostalgic because I remember how much I loved this when it first came out. But my number 1 is Horror Show.
My number 1 was right at the bottom of your list. My number 1 is Glorious Burden. In my mind, one of the best looking heavy metal cover arts ever. If I could get a print of this as a poster without the Iced Earth text and logo, then I would be a happy man. Because I just think it's the colours, you know, the colours used for the skyline look beautiful. It just undeniably it just shows the chaotic nature of warfare from the time period. It suits the album just 100%. Just I couldn't imagine. People go like, "Oh, there's no set," but it doesn't need set. It would be silly to have set on this album. This album cover is one of my favorite album covers ever, and I think it looks brilliant. It's beautiful. I don't know whether it was a painting that they. I'm sure it was a painting by someone that already existed, that John got the rights to use. I'm sure that is the case. If it's not, and it's a concept that John wanted that he got nice to do, then that's fucking incredible. Yeah, that's my favourite artwork. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I just love it. I just think it looks fantastic. It looks even better.
Okay.
The deluxe version looks even better with the blue logo as well. Oh, so good.
This is my first honorable mention I'm going to bring up. This is the John Schaefer Purgatory album. This is one where if we were talking all albums, this would have been way, way up there. I love the colors. I love the haunted house, the theme, the CD's perfect. So this is one that's definitely high atop the list. It looks great on vinyl. So that's one I definitely wanted to show. What are some of your non-studio album favorites?
I didn't get any out. I did get some, but I didn't get
Okay.
any out like you, because you got stuff like, Purgatory and stuff like that. I didn't get anything like that. I got some variants out. Right.
Which one are you discussing?
Right. One of my favourite non-studio album covers is an EP that I don't like, but the album cover's wicked. There's an Overture of the Wicked.
Okay.
In my eyes, it should have been the artwork for Framing Armageddon, because I think it's brute. I love the fact that it's like set in a sandstorm. I just think it looks awesome.
As much as I like Framing, that is also, I agree with that.
Also, I love the nods to Iron Maiden with the Reckoning EP. I think I might prefer this version over the Maiden's original. I just like where they've incorporated set in it, and it's got the "Don't Tread on Me" flag. I just think it looks really good.
It's a great picture, for sure.
I would also want to mention two other. One of them I don't have on me because I've only got it on vinyl, which is the redone Enter the Realm. Just looks incredible. One of the best pictures.
Here's the original CD one. I don't hate this one, but I don't love it either. It's just kind of.
I see with that one. I just think the skeleton just looks like a jumbled mess. There's no definition on that, in my opinion.
Fair enough. I have mine setting out because I figured it might come up.
Yeah,
it's
just so good. How good is that, Chuck? It's just incredible.
That's just awesome.
It's so metal as
well.
So
it is
metal as well. My final, just for honourable mentions, my final choice would be Alive in Athens, and not just the front cover. I love all the artwork on the individual CDs. I just think they look fucking brilliant. That's my favourite out of the CD covers individual. I just think it looks awesome in the fire there. Yeah, I think there's one. We keep talking about artwork and stuff, and I think, like you said at the beginning, Iced Earth are known as much as their music as they are for their artwork, because John is, he's so good at finding the right people to get the best results.
But a lot. I'm not just pigeonholing Iced Earth. A lot of iconic metal bands are, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't think of Injustice for All without seeing the Lady Justice picture in your head.
Man, that's my favorite Metallica artwork.
Yeah, mine too.
Why? Actually, one of my favorite artworks ever. Like, I love that artwork for that record.
Okay. I have a few pieces out here. Kurion, love the artwork, love the CD. The two Storm Rider ones are kind of hokey and just not that great, but I still love them. So I've got 4 different Storm Riders. I like them all 4. And here's a controversial one. A lot of people hate this album. I freaking love it. And that's Festivals of the Wicked. I love the artwork. I love the picture. I wish it was on vinyl. My only complaint about this album, and I've said it before, is that I wish that it was one full concert, not bits and pieces.
Another one from me, as we get to the end of this video, probably my favourite variant in all of the Iced Earth catalogue. When it comes to different variants of covers, this has got to be my favourite variant. Like, it's an alternate cover, because it only existed in one place by one record label that got the license to ship it, to basically sell it there. But it's just so cool, which is Plagues of Babylon, Scarecrow Records, exclusive to Mexico. It's just Set's face zoomed in, and it just looks wicked. I just love it.
That's an awesome piece.
I love it so much.
Okay, now we're going to finish up with a few viewer comments. Loose Sass says, Night of the Storm Rider vinyl reissue cover. Classic. Adam Ortiz, my favorite artwork is the European self-titled artwork, the green-red one. and Set Black Flag Virate. And who could forget the Great Wizard on a Horse Storm Rider cover? So the colors on the self-titled Japanese is a little different. Have you noticed that?
What one?
The self-titled, the Japanese version is a little bit different than the green one. Like there's more red and
Interesting.
so it's just so daggone expensive. You can't get it for under $100. I hate that.
It's
So
what it is. Is what it is.
Brandon Stone. I love the artwork for Night of the Stormlight reissue from the Dark Genesis era. And just because reasons, the cover of the Reckoning single he loves too. Saul Montague says, hands down my favorite is Horror Show. It captures the feel of the album. Well, it could have easily been a cover for an old horror film. Glorious Burden is a close second. So he likes our 1 and 2, or 1 and 1. If it concluded more of the other songs than just the Gettysburg, but it's still a great cover. Bill Owen shows a picture of the Purgatory EP, and he says, I like this one.
He's a bit biased,
So,
though, isn't
He's a little bit biased on that
he?
one, but he's right.
And in theory, it's not an Iced Earth album cover either.
But to me, Purgatory is Iced Earth. They just didn't have the name anymore.
Yeah.
Most of Ryan Wallace says most of you guys are mentioning is on my arm. He's got a big tattoo. He's not going to reveal it yet. We'll have that down the road. Mike Scott shows a picture of the Enter the Realm and a few other of his favorite. Christian Fernando has Dark Saga. Michael Storm says Glorious Burden and Horror Show. So Sean McConnell, my buddy, says, what can I say? Storm Riders Japanese. There's something about those strips that just make them look nice. I don't know what it is about them. Aaron Philpott says Night of the Storm Rider original artwork. I just love it. And our last one is Christopher Ellison showed the angel falling down self-titled.
Cool.
So kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
But opinions are opinions. There are no wrong ones. I love here. I think it's funny when I saw how low you ranked Horror Show, and you probably laughed when you heard my Glorious Burden. It's all in fun. It's all some people are going to like more songs more. Me and Jason rarely agree on stuff, and that's what makes this fun.
Yeah, and again, like artwork is artwork. Any form of art is subjective and open to interpretation
Absolutely.
and opinion. So, there's. I remember going out one day. There's this piece of artwork in a frame that is being sold. It's just a black square on a white background. It's selling for about £40,000. I'm just like, but why though? It's a square. But to someone else, that black square is worth every penny. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
But as we kind of talked about before, cover art is a big part of metal. Mm-hmm. There's some iconic ones throughout the years. We mentioned Metallica. Every band's got Maiden, Metallica, Megadeth. King Diamond's got some really cool.
Oh man, King Diamond's got some incredible album covers.
I kind of like the ones where the band isn't even featured on the art. Like you think of a band like Kiss, all their big artwork are they're always on it. But some bands like Maiden, Metallica, Iced Earth, it's never the band.
Yeah.
King Diamond, it's Judas Priest. It's cool. It's just a part of it.
Judas Priest, Painkiller. What a classic artwork on that record.
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't even have to be. Sometimes look how iconic just the Black Metallic album. Sometimes simplicity is so metal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And sometimes there's bad art for okay albums. Saint Anger, I don't like the artwork very much. I think the colors are awful. But I think Death Magnetic is great, but the cover is not good either. So anyway, there's iconic album covers. Everybody's got their favorites.
We can talk about it for days,
Yeah.
really. Like, you know, we could go through, like, you know, Maiden. It's got some classic. Killers is my favourite from Maiden. I think Killers is a great cover art.
Live After Death for me,
Cool.
but Killer's kind of iconic too. So this has been a fun one. I would like to have people comment below on YouTube here. I know we've done retrospectives on Iced Earth. We're starting to get into the side solo projects. If there's any this type of episode you'd like to see, put in a suggestion. If you'd like to see us talk about opening songs, or throw some suggestions out there. If we see something we like, it might happen. We've got kind of an itinerary of what we want to do, but I'm always open for a suggestion for a cool episode.
Yeah, definitely. Throw it down in the comments.
Speaking of artwork, did you know that this was drawn by Gene Adams' son?
Yes.
Okay, just checking it out.
He does mention it. He does mention it. He gives his son all the props. Yeah.
Logo done by some wanker.
Some
My buddy.
That's British wanker to you.
Some British wanker. That's awesome.
It's the fucking dog's bollocks, mate. You know what I mean?
Thank you so much, Gene, for thanking us. That means so. It's so cool to see our name in there, I must say. This is a cool episode, Jason. We have a lot of cool artwork here. Who's our next retrospective? Are we doing Ashes 2 or are we doing Witherfall?
I think we should go. Basically, I'm going to cut this bit out, yeah? Okay? So I'm just going to quickly suggest to you. Right, I think this episode should go out first, and then we should do Ashes next week, and then we should do Ashes 2, and then put that out afterwards.
Okay. Or just leave it in.
Okay. Whatever. Anyway.
If anybody's still watching an hour in, you just got some behind the scenes crap right there.
Anyway, I think we should do Ashes 2 next.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to start doing my homework then. I need to get up on it.
If it's anything like Ashes 1, like, because I've listened to a bit of the second album and I'm like, yeah, but that came out around about the time like Purgatory came out, so I was all over Purgatory. So it kind of got pushed to the side, so I need to jump on that.
It's got a lot more melodic intros. It's a little more slower. It's not as heavy, but I dig it.
Cool.
So, take us home, Jason.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Podcast in Stone. I'm Jason. I have been joined, as always, by the incomparable Chuck Hoskins. We've been talking about cover arts and our rankings of studio albums and some honourable mentions and whatnot. If you like this kind of stuff, give this a like. If you want to see more of us, punch that subscribe button to get our new episodes in your feed. If you want to support us monetarily, you can do that. You can drop us $1 or $2 on our Patreon at patreon.com/podcastingstone. Join our group, over 600 people, including current and former members of Iced Earth. Facebook.com/groups/podcastingstone is the place to be for all the discussions of Iced Earth and the related shit they go through as well. It's all good. Like, we're back and it's all fun. And more episodes to come. Interviews down the line as well, for sure. So, until next time, guys, stay metal, because metal is, my friends. See you later.